If we are getting near the bottom of this downturn or have already hit it, guess what? This is close to or is now the perfect time to be looking for those altcoin snipes. If we do go into another bullish Bitcoin cycle, altcoins will run once again. So are you ready to run with your boy Chico down altcoin alley? Well, you don't really have a choice because it's time for Chico Crypto. Everyone loves a good alt season, there is no doubt about that. And there are signs, many signs, that another alt season just might be getting ready to take place. What are the signs? Well, at BTC Fuel on Twitter put out a great thread on the next alt season, which went over the major signs in the markets. Let's go through the important parts, but the full thread is in the description if you want to check it out and give them a follow. The first sign and most important sign doesn't have to do with altcoins, but it has to do with Bitcoin. They think Bitcoin isn't done for. BTC Fuel thinks Bitcoin is very early in its cycle, and these Bitcoin cycles are broken down into 4 waves, and based on history, these 4 waves in the cycle are lengthening over time, taking longer to go through. Thus, today we are only in between wave 2 and 3 of the 4-stage wave cycle. BTC Fuel then says, wave 3 in 2017 happened in the spring of 2017, with an insane alt season and alts outperforming Bitcoin. The next sign they see is volume. From the chart, we can see trading volume is currently falling to lows, which back in 2017, before its wave 3 in the spring, the volume did the exact same thing before picking up into that alt season. They then go on to say, it looks like Ethereum is confirming this, with an almost exact cycle setup as the previous cycle, preparing for a huge alt season, with the chart showing the setups are spookily similar. And the final thing I would like to show regarding their thread and signs is regarding the altcoins, the other altcoins, which are the top 125 alts except BTC and ETH. BTC Fuel shows that this group of altcoins just did an important retest, which has already happened this cycle back in 2021. Fuel says, this is the alt season trigger. This dip is just a higher low in an uptrend for the alts. So Bitcoin is showing signs its cycle isn't done with. Ethereum is showing a setup just like what happened with the last cycle in 2017. And other altcoins are doing an important retest. The signs of another alt season are abundant. So now who are my top altcoin picks if this is the case? Another alt season is getting ready to take off into 2022. Well, you got to look at the altcoins who are innovating, who have ecosystems built around them, all while being in a total buy zone. Which altcoin fits that bill? Well, a DeFi all-star of old who is ushering in the new, and that is Synthetix Network. Now, Synthetix to me is currently in an opportunity zone. First of all, the token has fallen out of the top 100, now on page 2 of CoinGecko, ranked 103, which is baffling for the product it is and what SNX has done for the DeFi space. Which, if we go back in time using the Wayback Machine to April 2021, Synthetix was ranked number 52. Now the price is also showing an opportunity zone to me. As we can see, since its peak in February 2021 of $28.53, the price has dipped down to, as of yesterday, $4.27. This is a crash and burn of 85%. And this price is even below its DeFi summer of 2020 peak. As we can see from the price chart, during the summer run-up, it peaked at $7.29. With the price being currently lower than that, it smells like an opportunity to me. Why? Well, Synthetix has a big year ahead of it. 2022 is going to be massive for the project. Kane Warwick just put out the newest Synthetix roadmap, titled Synthetix L2 2022 Roadmap. L2 2022 means Layer 2 2022. Yeah, Synthetix is going all in on Ethereum Layer 2 for this year. They are innovating on a future scaling solution for Ethereum instead of sticking around on the costly Layer 1. Now, as we can see in their roadmap, there are many things to be excited about this year in regards to Synthetix. From the roadmap, we can see by March of 2022, they will have V2X of Synthetix complete, which is the remaining scope needed before the V3 migration. And then in June of this year, V3 will be ready for deployment, which is a completely new architecture. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead with V3. Let's focus on V2X and what is coming very soon. From the roadmap, Kane says, V2X eventually split into 3 phases. The first being the initial Optimism migration work and fixing a bunch of tech debt. The second phase is focused on the debt synthesis, which merges L1 and Optimism. We have also split synthetic futures into its own work stream. Phase 1 is complete. Synthetic futures is a few weeks away from being code complete, but about half the contracts have already been audited. Regarding synthetic futures, which is a few weeks from being code complete, Kane then says, however, I can say that the finalized code is far more robust than anything else we have delivered since the launch of the original synthetic contracts in late 2018. Synthetic futures are coming, which is the biggest thing since the original contracts released in late 2018. Massive. Kane then gets into the improvement proposals for phase 2, which should be completed by March, although he finishes with this regarding V2X. The final aspect of V2X is the rollout of new synths to Optimism. Chainlink recently finalized their deployment of OCR feeds to Optimism. This will allow for a rollout of a number of new feeds to Optimism in the coming months. We have been surviving with only 3 assets on Optimism for the last year, but the community is obviously extremely excited to expand this, especially as these assets can then immediately be implemented into other protocols like Lyra. Yeah, Synthetix has projects building around it and its assets. An ecosystem is being built around Synthetix. There is Lyra on Optimism for decentralized options. There is Thales on Optimism for decentralized binary options. This is all being built using Synthetix tech or synthetic assets. SNX is dominating Optimism. Now, the final thing I want to cover regarding SNX is a possible leaky leak. A Synth man on Twitter caught it. He showed a lead SNX dev in Discord showing something with extremely high APYs. So I decided to jump in the SNX Discord after this to check. Although Matt, the lead dev, must have deleted it as he said this, "Please, this is not finished yet. Soon. You guys caught a leak of mine." Who doesn't like a leaky leak from a top dev? Could this be tied into the synthetic futures, or is this an entirely new product? Well, regarding entirely new products, I have a project that is going to be massive when it releases in just a couple weeks, as it's a collaboration between 2 of the top devs in the space. But before we get into that, it's time for a sponsored segment of this video, brought to you by the team at Circuits of Value. And like always, the details of our agreement can be found in the description. Circuits of Value, sometimes known by their token CoVal, are the pioneers behind the revolutionary multi-chain Emblem Vault, an Ethereum-based NFT that functions as a multi-asset wallet, allowing users to store an unlimited amount of cryptocurrencies and NFTs in a single tradable ERC-721 token. This Emblem Vault NFT is interoperable and can function on a multitude of networks, and it can store any of the assets that live on the other blockchains, like even Bitcoin, even if the vault remains on Ethereum. The ability to store assets from other blockchains inside the Emblem Vault has opened the door for long forgotten blockchain projects, like the 2016 Rare Pepe digital cards that were developed on Counterparty, a protocol built on top of Bitcoin. These assets have found new life by becoming tradable on foreign NFT marketplaces like OpenSea. Assets wrapped inside Emblem Vault NFTs have now grossed over 80 million in volume on OpenSea, with multiple rare Pepes stored in the vault selling for over 100 plus Ether, with several selling for over $500,000, all because of the power of the Emblem Vault. So how does this work? Well, the Emblem Vault itself can be sold, stored, transferred, or traded just like any other NFT. But inside this Emblem Vault NFT, it contains multiple individual wallet addresses, one for each of the various blockchains, so you can store their native assets. Blockchains like Bitcoin, Solana, Polygon, BSC, Avalanche, Fantom, Tezos, and many, many more. And the assets are always fully protected because the private keys for these wallets are locked inside the vault, with the contents only claimable by the owner. The Emblem Vault is also capable of holding digital files like movies, music, photos, documents, and social media profiles, making digital files transactable and unique. There are endless possibilities for what we can now do with NFTs through the Emblem Vault. You can create a crypto portfolio of various tokens from multiple chains with a single store of value. You can add value to your NFTs and combine them with tokens. You can make cross-chain NFT swaps trustlessly and confidently, which isn't available anywhere else on the blockchain. You can also hide the contents of your vault and transfer the assets privately between parties. Besides all of that, you can now own multiple liquidity pools and make them transferable. And soon you may even be able to deposit ERC20 tokens, creating wrapped versions for cross-chain DeFi opportunities. The Emblem Vault is constantly going through upgrades, adding new features, and becoming more user-friendly with new blockchain ecosystems being added to the vault. The team is also hard at work to bring you their very own NFT marketplace, focused on opening up the world of interoperable, non-custodial, peer-to-peer NFT and crypto asset trading. And expect to have new features available that we don't see on any of the current marketplaces today, like accepting any crypto token as payment, or swapping an NFT for an NFT, or even swapping Emblem Vaults for an Emblem Vault. So the Emblem Vault has already made its mark on the NFT collectible space, and this is apparent by their listing on Coinbase at the end of last year. So you guys, get ahead of the folks who haven't discovered them yet by making sure to visit their website, following them on Twitter, browsing their OpenSea vaults on both Ethereum and Polygon, and finally joining their Discord. Links to everything can be found in the description. Now back to that coming project many are excited for, and the hype of it even caused the TVL on Fantom to explode and TVL wars to take place on top of the blockchain. As we can see from DeFi Llama, which tracks TVL, the TVL of Fantom skyrocketed from 8 billion to over 12 billion in a matter of days, which allowed Fantom to become the third largest chains for a bit, overtaking Binance Smart Chain. Although that TVL has settled down now. Why? Well, there was a snapshot for a certain project, codenamed Solid Swap, which has now morphed into Solidly, which is or was a collaboration between Andre Cronje, the creator of Yearn, a Fantom all-star, and Daniel Sesta, the man behind Mim, Magic Internet Money, and Wonderland. Although Daniel may be out now, there is some big drama going on, which isn't fully resolved yet, and I just might cover it when it's resolved. But I still believe in this project and it's going to kill it. Why? You never count out Cronje. He will take it fully over and crush it. And like I showed, the single project caused a bunch of hype for Fantom, causing TVL to go crazy and explode by billions. What is being built is revolutionary. It's an evolution of the AMM, the automated market maker, a la Uniswap, but it solves issues with fees, governance, and user incentives. So how are the tokens with the ticker ROC being distributed? Well, they're airdropping NFTs containing the tokens, and those tokens were going to the top 20 protocols on Fantom by TVL, with the snapshot taken just a few days ago, January 23rd. That is why the TVL was going crazy on the blockchain and has now settled down. But how do regular people get the tokens? They went to the protocols. Well, it's up to the protocols to distribute the tokens how they see fit. So being up to date with which protocol got the tokens is going to be key to getting the ROC tokens. Andre just a couple days ago put out a blog titled Solidly Preparation for Launch, and he also tweeted a picture leak of the Solidly Exchange interface. So it is getting really close to launch. So who are the Fantom projects who receive the NFTs and thus the tokens? Well, luckily within the GitHub they have the list with the amount they are getting. The list includes Multichain, Xerox DAO, SpookySwap, Yearn, VDAO, Tome Finance, Giz Finance, Beefy Finance, the Ren VM, Synapse, and 10 other projects and protocols. This list is key because through these protocols is how you get the ROC tokens, and this ROC token is going to be big. It caused an explosion of 4 billion TVL on Fantom. So stay up to date with each of these protocols. Some might be a-holes and keep it in the treasury and not distribute. Some might airdrop them to their users, and some might distribute as liquidity rewards. And can you say Chico is solid like a rock? Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.